Hi, in this video I'm going to show how to create a Twilio SIP trunk and connect it to your 3CX system so that you can receive incoming call and also make outgoing calls via the trunk. This integration will also allow you to forward to extensions, take a voicemail if the person is not available for that particular extension to answer, etc. So I couldn't find any video online that explains exactly how to do this. Just want to mention the date currently is June 16th, actually. I'm sorry, June 16th, 2019. So this is, I don't want to say a recent video, obviously. If you are watching this a year from now, it's not going to be recent. But I just want to mention the date, June 16th, 2019. And I am going to start with telling you the fact that I have already registered a phone number, or I bought a phone number at Twilio. And what I'm going to do right now is go ahead and create a SIP trunk here and give it a name. And so I'm going to give this a name. Let's just say miscellaneous. So I'm just going to call it miscellaneous, MISC. And so it gives it the trunk SID. For this particular purpose, we're never going to use this, so don't worry about that. Recording settings, I'm not going to use this. You can have Twilio do recording for you, but we're not going to use it because it costs extra money. Secure trunking disabled, call transfer disabled, symmetric RMTP. I just leave everything pretty much as default here. So we're not changing anything here in general. We are going to termination, and let's see what we need to adjust here. Okay, so here we are also going to put in the serve termination. I usually use the same name, and surprisingly that's available. Wow, okay. So I usually use the same name as I do with the SIP trunk name, and that's a very generic one. I'm surprised that it's available, but that's good. I'll accept that. And the access control list and the credential list, this is important and this is a must. You have to do this. I have already created my access control and also my credential list. So the access control, since this is going to the same server that I have configured before, I will just use an existing one. If you don't have one yet, you have to click this, and it's pretty easy. You just basically type in the name, CIDR network address, and there are CIDR calculators online, by the way. So if you don't know what your CIDR network address is, feel free to go to Google and use one of those calculators. So you're doing an address range, and everything with every IP within that address will be able to gain access to this trunk. So this is necessary. So I have created mine, and I just use the IP address as the same as the name of the access control, and that's why it looks funny, but yours could be just a alphanumeric name here. The credential list, I don't want to mix it with the one that I have right now. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one. What's going on here? I thought I'd click on this. Okay, looks like it's not working. So, all right, well, this is supposed to have worked, but let's see if we can just leave that empty for now and see if that works. Let's press save. Okay, that actually worked. Okay, we will leave that off for now, or okay, let me try it again. Yeah, that doesn't work. I'm not sure why. Maybe it is a browser issue. I'm gonna pause the video and try it on a different browser real quick. Okay, I'm back. Looks like there's something wrong with the Twilio button here to create credentials. So another way to do this is to go back and actually go to the main menu for the Elastic SIP trunking and click on this one, Authentication, and then go to Credential Lists, and then here we'll be able to create a new one. So I'm gonna put MISC credentials, and the username is gonna be MISC cred, and the password, I'm gonna choose something random. Make sure you store this so that you don't lose this, especially after you choose something random that is difficult. I'm gonna type it on another screen and another on a notepad or text editor. Okay, and then we're gonna click create. All right, there you go. Let me make sure I save it on the other screen so that I'll remember what I put in. Okay, so now we can go back to the trunk and assign that particular trunk to this credentials. Go to Termination. That still doesn't work, but we already have one pre-created, so we'll go ahead and select it. And that's it for the termination section. Now we're going to go to the origination section. Okay, so we are going to use the origination SIP URI of SIP. I think :/ let me make sure exactly what that is by looking at my previous one. Hold on just a moment. Okay, so the SIP URI is just SIP : and then the fully qualified name of your 3CX server. So mine is dff.3cx.us, priority 10, wait 10. I just leave everything the same. Okay, there's something wrong here. Oh, sorry, lowercase. I don't know why I made that uppercase. Okay, so that's done. Enable CNAME lookup. This costs more money, and it's not needed. Please look it up. If you want to know what this is, just look it up on Google and get an explanation. Disaster recovery URL. I didn't put anything there because I'm not using this for any emergency situation. So that's it for the number. For the origination. Now we're going to go to the number section. All right, so I have bought an existing number that I would like to use, so I'll go ahead and use that. I guess I'll select it, add selected. So you can have multiple numbers assigned to a trunk and set the number DID to go to a specific extension and all that in the 3CX later on. I'll show you. Okay, so we have everything configured on the Twilio side, and now we're going to go to the 3CX management console. My 3CX version that I'm showing right here is a 15.5 version, which is about a year old, so about 2018. It's still very relevant. I haven't tried the version 16, but I have seen videos. It doesn't change very much. So I'm just going to assume a lot of the functionalities are probably about the same. So first thing we need to do is go to SIP Trunk, and as you can see, I have an existing SIP Trunk already. Yours may be blank, so that's okay. And we're just going to go ahead and add a new SIP Trunk. We're going to select generic and generic SIP trunk, and the main trunk number we are going to put the DID, the actual phone number that you're trunking in. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Let's press let's go through with it, and then we'll compare the values against the existing one that I have to make sure it's correct. So here we are going to put the host name of the trunk, which is exactly the one that we put at the, is it the general? The one that we select, yeah. So it has the name of the trunk as a prefix, dot something dot something. Here, this is where you can get it at. If you go to the termination and you click on show localized URI, you can just pick any of these and drop it here for the outbound and the inbound and the outbound. The port number should be the same, 5060. That's the default for SIP. And for the authentication section, I usually just leave it on do not require, but I do put in the credentials anyhow, and it seems to work that way. Not sure why, but it works when I actually put in the username and password, even though here in the type of authentication it says do not require. Of course, keep in mind that you do have to respect the IP-based authentication, which means that you have to put that ACL, access control list, IP range that has the server, the server 3CX server IP within that range. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay, so right now, basically, we can route the calls for this number to a particular extension, yeah, or end the call or go to a voicemail, etc. I would like to forward it to an external number, and actually, you know what? Let's not do that first. Let's go to an extension and then go to my personal extension for now, so we'll be able to test that easily. Okay, and as for outside calls during office hours, same thing. We're gonna go to an extension, and sorry, this is the wrong one. Okay, I don't want to set up specific hours. That's it. That's pretty much the configuration for this. And then I will go to, okay, so let's take a look at this real quick. So this is the one that I just set up, and as you can see, the name is wrong. But this is where I'll do a comparison between the one that I just set up and the one that is already working. So we don't have any register send and register OK or failure yet, but the next time we refresh, we're probably going to see that. We're going to go in and look at this and change the name. So I'm going to change the name to MISC, just like our name of the trunk. And okay, that's not very descriptive. You see how descriptive this one was? Okay, so I'm going to change it where it'll also say inbound. What? Let me go back again. Trunk inbound from Twilio Outlaw. Okay. Well, I'm just going to leave it as MISC. All right. So, well, actually, I'm going to just rename it to MISC Trunk, so that in case we are confused with the name. All right. So that's done, and let's see, what else do we need to do? Enable all. I think this is already enabled. I don't think there's anything else I need to do, because we already have, oh yeah, we need to do the inbound and outbound rules. So let's go to the inbound rules. And as you can see, I have one already for the existing number that I have. I'll go ahead and add another rule and then call this MISC inbound. Okay, so they already have my number here, and again, I'm going to test it so that it goes to my extension first. Press OK, and then you also need to create an outbound rule. Yeah, so my existing outbound right now have generic names, but even though it goes to a specific trunk, I'm I probably will create similar ones, but yeah, I'm going to create similar ones. So, but I am going to make sure that I name it with the MISC in front of it. So let's create the first one for the E.164. So for the E.164, number of calls, we're starting prefix. I think it was a plus sign. Calls from extension doesn't matter. Calls a number with a length of doesn't matter. And then here is from this route, from this. We are stripping no digit and prepending nothing. And okay, name should be, oh, really? I cannot use that name. Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot. We're gonna prefix it with MISC. Okay, there you go, MISC 164 plus sign. Let's compare it with what we have here. So plus sign from inbound 0 strip 00. Yeah, so this is exactly the same. So now we're going to create a second one. Let's take a peek first what we set for international. So we do 011, strip 3 digit, and then add a plus sign. Okay, we can do that. So once again, we go to add MISC international, and starting prefix 011. We're going to get the calls only from here, strip 3 digits, and then prepend +1, right? Is that right? Okay, let's go ahead and click OK, and then take a peek here again, see if that's right. Oh no, it's just a plus sign. Okay, let's go back, click here, let's fix that so it's just a plus sign, and hit OK. All right, next, domestic US with a prefix of 1. So we're going to take a peek first, as usual. I'm going to copy this so that will be quicker. And it's going to be stripping 0 and then adding a plus sign with a prefix of 1. Okay, so add MISC DAD 1 from MISC Trunk 1 with a plus sign. No? Yeah, I'm not stripping anything, I don't think. Okay, press OK. There you go. And then the last one, let's take a peek first. Okay, so the catch digit is 0 to 9, stripping 0 and then adding +1. Okay, so MISC 0 to 9, strip 0 and then adding +1. All right, so let's take a peek because I wasn't sure if we configured that correctly. 0 and a plus. And let's take a look at this one that we did. And it has to be 0 and a plus. Yep. All right, looks like everything is configured correctly. Oh, okay, I see. You see that? I forgot to select the MISC trunk for this last outbound rule. So we almost made that mistake. Good thing we caught it. All right, so everything is configured. Let's go back to the SIP trunk here. And I don't know why the register sent is still not being sent. Do I have to enable it? Refresh registration. Yeah, there's nothing going on. All right, well, I'm just give it a try. I'm just gonna try calling it. Let me bring up my 3CX client, and I'm gonna call that number and see what happened. Okay, it looks like it's connecting and it's working somewhere. That's not Twilio. That's my 3CX system already answering it. But obviously, since I'm calling from the same number, I mean from the same extension, it doesn't work. So I'm going to try to call from my cell phone which is let's deploy FaceTime here and see if right here. So 281 560-4333 audio. Okay, you see that? It's actually ringing at my 3CX client, which proves that that number is now working. Well, I can pick up right now. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yep, it's echoing out. Everything is working great. So that proves that this is working already. Now, what you can do is, if you want this to behave differently, you can go to the extension that right now I'm having it forwarded to my extension here. You can actually edit and have all these rules here, like forwarding rules. What happens if you're not available? Do you want to go to voicemail? Do you want to pick it up, etc., etc.? So you can do all that immediately here. You can also, obviously, in the inbound rule, excuse me, I think I have a video playing in the background. I apologize. All right. In the inbound rule, you can change the inbound rule just for that particular trunk so that it goes directly to, it goes to like a different extension that has a different behavior. Like maybe it just goes to voicemail right away, something like that. So very useful. Oh yeah, another one, you can have an extension that basically just forwards to a different number, like forwarding to a remote number. So it just bridges the call and makes another call out, and then it connects it together. So I forgot to point out that when you are when you have selected the extension that you want the inbound rules to go to, you have to make sure that this extension, let me show you. This extension here is the one that I'm going to use. When you create or modify that extension, make sure that here under the direct inbound dialing that you have selected the correct DID. So in order for this to show up here, you have to enter this extension as the inbound here. So if you click on inbound, you go to the DID here, edit. You can select here. So it goes to this extension, route calls to this extension, and it immediately would link together in the extension. It will look like this. So when you go to the extension, again going back and forth, sorry, just want to make sure this is very important, otherwise it won't work, that it shows this number here as being extension 302 and 302 incoming and outbound calls are both going to this particular extension, and this will make sure it works. And of course you can adjust the behavior, the voicemail, the cordial greetings, etc., forwarding rules, all that you can adjust it here. Thank you. That's it. Just want to show this particular instruction because it doesn't exist on the internet, on YouTube. I mean, if you find this video useful, please hit the like and then share this video if you find it useful for some other people to know. And please subscribe to my channel if you find this useful. I make videos like this all the time, and you'll be reminded or notified when I make videos like this again in the future. Thank you.